D12.
Yo, what's good, y'all? This is Doug E. Fresh.
Hey, Redman is in the building. You already know.
Hey guys, this is Emily Peachy.
Shout out, man, to Worldwide Collaborations, man.
I want to shout out Worldwide Collaborations, LLC.
Shout out to the Worldwide Collaborations, LLC.
World movement, beyond thousands of movements.
The world movement, beyond thousands of movements.
All about representing each other together. So check this out.
What's up? You want to be a part of this? You want to be a part of the Worldwide Collaboration?
You guys should all be a part of Worldwide Collaboration.
Worldwide Collaborations, LLC. Check us out, man, and check what's going on, man. Word up. I have recently been choosing to be a spokesman and an ambassador, so you will see a lot more of me. Join the movement, man. It's beyond thousands of movements right now and talents put together, all about representing each other together.
I want to join, so I might see you there. All right, much success.
This is a worldwide collaboration song.
Yeah. Look, brainstorming, creating, thinking, and new ideas, inventing inventions, representing everything, having members collaborate, worldwide collaboration.
Hello. We are back once again on the Chatterbox with yours truly, King Jacob. And oh man, we have another star-studded episode for you all at home. And thank you for tuning in. And, I hope everybody had a magnificent day, a motivational Monday, mindful Monday, a mindful Monday, and, just all that good stuff to get your juices flowing for your week so you can, new blessing, new goals, and new accomplishments. So we're here once again. And, I have a good friend of mine that, man, we've been rocking for about 20 years, man. Through all the ups and downs and tears and snares on both of our lives, we still remain cool and still support one another. So, all the way from Maryland, I have none other than Miss Kelle Elise Johnson in the building with me. What's up, Kelle?
Hello.
What's going on?
Nothing much. It's Monday, as you said.
Right. And so for people that don't know who you are, can you kind of go ahead and introduce yourself to the audience?
Well, my name is Kelle Elise Johnson. As King Jacob told you, we've been friends for, just realized I hadn't even had my son, and he's 21 now. So it's been a long time. I'm a single mother of 4. Fighting epilepsy now for 15 years, but covered by God, and I'm still here, and that's me.
And she want to tell you that she's a great businesswoman too. So, I've been pushing her to start her own business for years. So, hopefully, she's gonna do it soon. So, and we have Kimmy K from the Village Global Network, the operational director from the Village Global Network. Thank you for tapping in with us. We definitely appreciate you tapping in as always. So, Kelle, for people who don't know about epilepsy and how it happens or how it begins, how did that begin for you?
Wow, mine was wild. As far as I know, and all the research that I've been doing in my family, no one else has it. These specialists tell me that it happened for me due to stress. So, as I was saying, 15 years ago, it was an extremely stressful time in my life. And Christmas Eve of 2009, I was going last minute Christmas shopping for my children. And when I left the house, I just didn't feel right. So I came back home, and I remember like stripping in front of the fan because I was so hot. And that's the last thing I remember. until I woke up in the hospital trying to talk, finding tubes down my throat. You know, my family's all in my face, but I didn't know what was what. Apparently I had, I think, 8 seizures back to back, to the point where they put me in a medically induced coma for me to stop. And like I go back to, there's nothing physically wrong with me. There's nothing wrong with my brain. I don't have any, you know, blood vessel issues up there. I just stress too much, apparently. I came home on New Year's Eve from going in on Christmas Eve. Came home using a walker for a little bit, but I'm strong, so I wasn't going to stay on the walker. And that was just the beginning of these 15 years from partial hell.
Right. Yeah, I've been rocking with you for a long time, so I remember. And like, as far as heart rate and blood pressure goes, when a person is facing epilepsy and going through that battle, what is abnormal for the heart rate and for the blood pressure? Even the red blood cells, the white blood cells.
Now, I'm not a doctor.
Mm-hmm.
We do know that, of course, high blood pressure or hypertension, or if you're suffering for that, you really need to make sure you keep that down and under control as much as you can, because any I'd say any abnormal activity, in my opinion, can set you off, quite frankly. I have hypertension as well, so I'm on blood pressure medications to also help. With the blood cells, I'm honestly, I'm not really sure how that works or how it's connected in any way. I do think stop saying minds, I'm sorry. The seizures that I suffer from or have suffered from, honestly, was because I was stressing too much. So again, the heart rate, all that, throws your body out of whack. And the next thing I know, I'll be in an emergency room, or I'll be in a hospital bed somewhere. So, like, medically, to be honest, from my story, I don't really have too much to say on it, because I don't suffer from those type of seizures, where a lot of people, there's certain things they can't eat, or they might have been born with some gene or something in their family where they can have some signs before a seizure may happen, and then they'll know, hey, I need to chill, or whatever works for them to settle down. But like I said, unfortunately for me, they just happen.
Okay. And we also have Big C, Southern Soul Singer out of Greenville, South Carolina, tapping in with us. Thank you so much, fam. Definitely appreciate you tapping in with us. So now, when you was in the hospital the very first time, all your family's in your face, and when the doctor came in and told you what happened and what was wrong, mentally and emotionally, how did you kind of wrap your mind around it, that this has happened to you?
Anybody that's close to me will probably know I don't think I have accepted it yet, to be honest. I can't wrap my brain around it because there's nothing physically wrong with my brain.
Right.
So we do know stress, triggers a lot of different situations, but I've never really heard it being linked to epilepsy. You hear strokes and, things like that, but to be honest with you, I still haven't accepted it. I don't think I'm going to accept it because, my brother Jeff would always fuss at me. You need to watch how you speak. They're not your seizures. You keep claiming them. So I feel like the more or the better I get with, stop saying my seizures, as you heard me say earlier, I had to correct myself. Wholeheartedly, I think I may be in a spiritual battle, to be honest with you. To be honest with you.
Okay.
And I won't accept it.
And you shouldn't. I can dig that. And we have your daughter tapping in, your oldest.
Hey, baby girl.
What's going on with you, Miss Real Estate Queen? What's happening?
She making me a Mimi.
Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's what's up.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, right?
Yeah, that's what's up. And so, you haven't accepted it, but, as far as, when they tell you that you have to take this certain type of medication to really keep them from coming back or keep them going, like, as far as you understanding the medication and reading up on the medication, what is your disagreements and why?
And why I need to take them, or why I may not want to take them?
Why you might not want to take them for the side effects, and why you need to take them to help you.
So again, with my particular situation, and it's nothing really physically wrong, the fact that I've always been told, because you've had one, you're open to continuously have them. Once you have one, it's like it's a continuation. And right now I'm on 4 different medications specifically for the epilepsy. And the side effects, they suck. There's nothing really major. It's like, dizziness, nausea. Some of them does cause depression. But I will say, to be honest, the ones that I am on, the side effects aren't huge. Depression is the key one that I'm kind of battling right now, but I have to take them. I truly have no choice. So I just accepted that. With any medication we take, regardless what you've taken it for, they all have side effects. So you either decide, hey, I don't like these side effects, which again, I don't feel like they're too major to not take them to prevent me having a seizure, or at least keeping them at bay. Because early on, we could put it on a calendar. Maybe every other month, I'd have a major seizure where I'd had to go to the hospital, spend a few days. Then I'd come home, be out of work for about another week. They don't happen like that anymore, thank God. But like I said, I can keep them at bay. I can try to stay stress-free. But remember, I said I'm a single mother of 4. So over the years, it's helped. They slowed down a lot, I will say that. That very first one I forgot to mention was Grand Mal, which everyone probably assumed, seeing that it landed me in a hospital like that. But I've learned there's so many different types of seizures, complex compound, and these silent seizures, which are ones that I kind of suffer from now.
Okay,
complex partial.
So let's stay with that for a minute. So complex, compound, and silent. So can you give us a kind of breakdown on all of them, on what the terminology is and what it means?
So I was told, because again, when I would land in there, I'm like, hey, I've noticed this a little different. The silent ones, they told me, I found myself just kind of staring off. Sometimes when people say, oh, I'm just dazing, but these are, I'm literally looking like I'm dazing, but I'm not there. So my kids have been trained, or, whoever I'm around, if you see me just kind of blankishly staring off, try to catch my attention, because I'm probably having one right then and there. Those I don't necessarily have to go to the hospital or anything for. I just, drink a lot of water, and lay down. The complex partial, in my opinion, they all kind of run together. But the complex partial, I may have tingling in my hands. I may get a sign that something is coming. Maybe a headache. My mom says I smack my mouth. I don't know. Here's the sad part. I don't necessarily know. They have to tell me that this is what I was doing. But I will say, for those, they're minor enough that I don't go to the hospital anymore. If this is new to anybody, I say go to the hospital. But I know it enough because it's been happening long enough for me that it's not that major for me. So it's just little different things. You don't necessarily convulse, fall out, your body's shaking, you're biting your tongue or anything. It's just a little seizure without the convulsions is what they are.
Okay. So I remember when you was living in Texas, and if I'm not mistaken, something happened while you was driving, correct?
Yeah. Apparently I had a seizure, no signs. I was coming from an appointment that I had, felt perfectly fine. I'm on the highway. When I become back aware, this man is pulling me out of my truck. So of course I start freaking out because I'm thinking something's happening to me, but it was the paramedics because a driver saw me, I guess, shaking while I was driving. And so he used his car to make my truck hit what's that?
The curb?
The thing that slips. No. I was on a highway. So the concrete wall, median, I guess. The concrete wall yeah. He used his car to make me hit that.
Wow.
So in my opinion, he saved my life. My truck was gone. And I could have hurt someone else. So that's my lesson there when I learned at that point that driving is probably not the best thing for me to be doing. Because specifically, I had no signs whatsoever. That day actually was a good day. I had good news. I was happy when I left the office. I was heading back home. And I ended up in the hospital and told I wrecked my truck.
I remember me calling you like a month after and just checking on you and seeing how you were doing, and you told me, and I remember you going through, because you are super woman to your children, so and you do everything for them, and so I remember you going through when you said, "Man, Jay, I can't drive right now. I can't maneuver." And it was bothering you mentally and emotionally as well. And so talk about those type of challenges that you had to overcome mentally and emotionally, especially when they told you that you couldn't drive for a while, and you not driving. It was a good little period of time, right?
Yeah, honestly, you couldn't pay me to drive. I was so terrified. I let my license lapse and everything. When I did decide, once I was back here in Maryland, I had to go back and go to the driving classes and pay all over to get my license again. I was terrified because that was one of the times where no signs, but something really major happened. And I was like, whoa. If something happens to me, my kids don't have anybody. I mean, we have, family, but I'm talking about immediate. It's me. It's me and my kids. So nothing can happen to me.
Right.
So I'm like, now my kids are older where they can drive me and do that. But then they were smaller and it was just me. So
Right. And I definitely say salute to you because you battled a lot, and wow, man, you did. And shout out to Curtis Watson tapping in. Oh yes, Curtis, we can tell that she's a strong woman. I can definitely tell you that. I mean, I've been knowing her for over 21 years. You know, she just told me her son is 21, and I know before he was even born. Oh my, that's wild. So you know, shout out to her. So now motherhood, you know, battling epilepsy, you know, understanding what seizures are, and being a football mom, a basketball mom, a soccer mom,
And a
a,
lacrosse mom.
a lacrosse mom, you know, a model mom,
Oh,
um, all of the above. So, how did you balance, you know, your career, motherhood, and your children with having epilepsy, and then how did your children wrap their mind around seeing their mom have seizures, on different occasions?
I'm gonna start with that last question there. At that point, my mom was living with me and the kids, and so once that happened, I'm gonna tell you, she jumped right in. She trained them to, because they were very small. She trained them to clean the house thoroughly, cook the little mini quick stuff if need be, watch out for me, things that they needed to pay attention to, and if so, call 911. I will say, I think Kennedy, who was one when they started, has been the one to call the ambulance the most. When I say she was on point watching me like a hawk, you don't look right, I'm calling 911. There's plenty of times that, they've come and I've sent them away. But when she was small, all she knew was grandma said, look for these things. And if something doesn't look right, call 911.
Mm-hmm.
So early on, and I tell you, I think they've accepted it more than I have. They stay calmer than I do in the situation when it happened. Even to this day, I still freak out. When I had the last one most recently, and I was home by myself, and Brandon luckily came home from lunch, and I'm on my bedroom floor with no clothes on. And he's like, he's freaking me out, trying to get me back up, talking. I hear everything going on, but I'm not there. So it sounds like it's going on in a way far distance. And I'm like screaming and hollering. He's like, just calm down, because I'm making it worse. But in that moment, I'm terrified. They keep me like this, to be honest. Every last one of them are stronger than I am when it comes to these seizures. Now balancing the whole sports and stuff like that, I don't think it really affected seizures more so than the seizures interfering with their sports schedules. Because as long as I had it in the calendar, my memory is, as long as I put it in the calendar, I'm good. Or put in reminders, I'm good.
Right.
But I've missed games, and I try my best. I'm so sorry. My dog is tripping.
It's fine.
Kennedy, please get her upstairs. Callie, go upstairs, mommy. I'm so sorry.
You're good.
I hate missing a game. I don't miss things. So they're like, Mom, it's okay. If you don't feel good, you can stay home. I'm like, no, I need to be at your game. Like, I am the loudest person out there, indoors or out there, for my kids. I support whatever it is that they want to do. These seizures got to stop, because they're making me miss things.
Right. I can understand that.
Yeah.
And Miss Don Parker, appreciate you tapping in. You a little late, but we definitely appreciate you grooving with us and coming to the party. For sure. So now it's been some years now, and you know a lot more, about epilepsy and about seizures and really how to grow awareness about epilepsy. So with growing awareness about it and really telling people and helping moms that may have children with it, or or just talking to maybe, somebody that you meet in passing, and y'all just crack up a conversation, and she tell you or he tell you he suffer with seizures, and you know what is the point, how do you want to grow this awareness and just keep people abreast of what goes on?
Um, that kind of racks my mind on maybe how I can be more of a help to get it out. I'm not sure. I know you yell at me all the time, like, hell, just do what you need to do. I'm not 100% sure, but if I did like one-on-one come in contact with someone or something like that, again, because the seizures come from so many different avenues, it's kind of hard for me to really tell someone who's suffering from it from a medical reason, or like I said, something not right with the brain or something off just a little bit. The only thing I can really stress is pay attention to your body, because again, it happened to me out the blue. I'm not going to say for no reason, because like I said, my life was very stressful, but no signs, no symptoms, no nothing. So you can't always just assume I'm okay. If the main things that I remember happening to me, it's like tingling in the hands or maybe blurred vision from nowhere. Just kind of really paying attention to your body and then going to your doctor and talking to what it is that you felt, because then they can probably do some scans, make sure you don't have any abnormalities with your brain. And the scans can, I'm not even going to say they can be helpful, because I swear, like, I've been scanned a million times for no reason for them to get the same outcome, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
But key, parents, pay attention to what your kids are doing. If anything looks weird, the kids are doing all crazy kind of stuff anyway nowadays. But if they look off for any reason, take them to the doctor. It's just a doctor's visit. If you feel weird, something you haven't felt before, especially, I will say, if you know that you're in a stressful time in your life, and I'm saying that because of me, just go to the doctor and just tell them, or I don't know if your insurance, you may have to go to the primary care first and ask for a referral, but a neurologist is who you need to see. It's just a doctor's visit.
Okay. So the Village Global Network has a question for you. It says, do you have a specific type of seizures or multiple different kinds?
At this point, I have multiple different kinds. Initially, it was just the grand mal, which is that big one, the seizure. Your body shakes, you fall out, you drool from the mouth, you bite your tongue, all that different stuff. Over the years, and I think because of the medication as well, my body's gotten used to it. I try my best not to stress. But I started to see, like what I said, what they told me was complex partial or silent seizures, where you can look like you're just daydreaming, but you're not. So if anybody is around you, if anybody is having seizures, ask them, because they may know that they have, or they may have experienced that whole daydreaming thing and thinking, oh, I'm just dozing. I don't know. That's not okay. So for me, I have it what they call from the little ones to the big ones.
Right. So your mom.
You just got to really pay attention. You got to look, because my mom can tell you more about it than I can, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. So you're a superwoman, your mom.
Thank you.
She your mom has been there ever since I can remember, man, and then some, and so for her and Jeff wrapping their mind around it, that you have epilepsy, and you could have seizures, sporadic. It just comes out of nowhere. So, what are some of the conversations that you had that you have had with your mom and your brother Jeff?
More so my mom. I think our conversations come from the avenue of I want her to tell me what she saw because I'm not aware. You know, was I doing something or did she notice I said something or moved? You know, anything out of the norm. That way we can keep that in the pocket in case we see that or whatever again, you know. With my brother, yes, he was the first person I opened my eyes to. But with him being out of state, he's not really around to witness and be, you know, somebody that's there constantly or even sees enough. He doesn't. You know, I go to him to pray. pray these things away, you know, Deacon Jeff. But I go to her more so. Our conversations are more so, tell me what happened. Tell me what you saw so that, you know, we can have that conversation with the little ones so they know what else to look for should it happen again. That's all it is at this point.
So, with your other sister and your brother, you know, what was their reaction when they kind of understood, man? My sister be battling this epilepsy and she's overcame all these challenges, man. But it's got to be rough on her emotionally and mentally, and even sometimes it's just gotta be rough when she want to do something she don't feel like doing it. So, what are those conversations with your sister and your baby brother?
They're all supportive. You know what I mean? Everybody's there. If somebody needs something, if I need something, somebody's available, whatever the case, we're all going to make sure it happens. That's just how we've always been with each other, regardless what it is. So, especially now more so my sister and I, since I'm back here and, you know, we're much closer. She doesn't have epilepsy, but, you know, she had a situation where she almost died from as well. But sorry.
You're good. Go ahead.
She was, I want to say lucky enough, but that's not the right word because she almost died. But she had to have surgery on her brain because she actually had coiled blood vessels.
Oh, wow.
Which, you know, that's what I mean when I say nothing's wrong with my brain. But with her having the surgery and yes, it left her partially paralyzed, but she's strong. She's so much. She's not partially paralyzed. You tell her she's partially paralyzed, she's probably gonna cuss you out.
Right.
But
So,
you know, it's just we're all there for each other. It doesn't matter.
Right. So with that right there, your sister you're talking about, and you was talking about her brain. What exactly does that mean? Like, cause you kind of like I need I'm like okay, you know. So what exactly does that stem from? If you can share that with us.
So absolutely don't be mad at me. But so apparently she was born that way. And when I say coiled, you know what I mean, going around like this. So at some point her blood vessels, you know, intertwined too much. And I remember, because all of us, now that I'm really thinking about it, all of us always had migraines. And I remember even in adult life, I mean, actually go to the neurologist because I know what I'm dealing with. Actually go to a neurologist. Your headaches like that is not normal. They shouldn't be happening that often. And she told me, she told me they did scans. Why they didn't see that, I don't know. But she was on her way to work one day. She had a headache. Luckily, my cousin was with her. She passed out. It busted. Her blood vessel busted because you think about it coiling, but the blood still needs to flow. It's going to burst.
Right. Wow.
So with her having the surgery, she was able to be repaired. She doesn't have to deal with seizures though. She seized while all that was going on, but luckily her surgery Excellent doctor. God's hands. God touched his hands. She doesn't have to deal with worried about having seizures. That's why I said lucky, because
Right.
these seizures suck.
Wow. Man.
Yeah.
Remarkable, and you
Mhm.
know, God is still in the blessing business, so that's wonderful.
That's the
That's
only reason why I'm still here, because if I had to guess how many seizures that I've had over 15 years, I'm sure it's close to 1,000. Easy.
wow.
Because they happen multiple on one time.
So
Like
when you say
sometimes they're gonna be back to back.
when you say multiple, you talking about sometimes it'll be like 9, 10 seizures back to back.
It can be. Early on,
Wow.
yeah, it used to be that much.
Oh
Yeah.
wow,
So
man. So I wanted to ask you the holistic care when it comes to seizures in epilepsy. Have you found out about any of that, or have you talked to anybody about the holistic approach?
not fully,
Hmm.
but I do have my medical card.
Okay.
I haven't seen a holistic doctor or anything like that, but since all they can tell me is don't stress and you'll be fine. I got my medical card and I chill.
Okay. Okay. Okay.
Because
Okay.
I mean, I got teenagers and young grown adults, and then like I said, an adult that's about to make me a grandma. Life is life, and it's some, I just fought the breast cancer. It's a lot of things. You can't tell me don't stress. Okay.
And that is right. You did, and man,
Yeah. I said, pass me the weed,
man,
please.
epilepsy, fighting breast cancer, and during that time of fighting breast cancer, and having epilepsy, like how challenging was that for you?
I I can't I can't even explain it. Everything's been like a 1, 2, 3 punch. But I'm from New York, son. Hey.
Yeah. Yeah. So listen, I just really commend you, and not only you, man. I just commend your children too, because your children were warriors when they didn't know they could be. You know what I mean?
Yep.
To really, with Kennedy being 1 years old and following those type of instructions from her grandmother, verbatim instructions, heavy detailed instructions, and getting it right exactly every time. So she had to grow up really fast. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
That's why she
And
get on my nerves right now.
I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure. I'm pretty
Mhm.
sure. But we all know one thing. About your children, though. They may get on your nerves, but they definitely gonna ride it out with you for sure.
Oh,
For sure.
absolutely.
Yeah,
They
for sure.
not they not letting nothing happen to me from no
Right,
way.
right,
Yeah.
right. So you was out of work for a while, right?
Yeah. Unfortunately, I'm still out of work right now. So anybody
Okay.
watching your
Okay.
hiring, let me know.
Okay. So the doctors won't release you to go back or what?
Now that's a whole nother story that has nothing to do with epilepsy. But no, I'm beyond that point of, the doctors limiting my work, to be honest.
Hmm.
That was just a employer thing once I was finished fighting the cancer and ready to
Okay.
get back on my feet. Yeah.
Hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I can dig it. I can dig it. So, I do want to ask you, because you are a mother of 4 young people. A couple of young adults and some teenagers, right? So, for you as a mother, um, The way you see things in society now versus on how we grew up and versus on what they have to face right now. What are your thoughts?
Sorry, one time. Thank you. I have one of my girlfriends over here listening with me. I'm sorry, but she has to go.
Okay.
The world that our children have to live in right now is very scary, of course. I think our time was scary, but as I've been told, you know, I'm a pushover mom. Thank you, honey. I appreciate you. I'm a pushover mom in some ways, and I have my reasons for why I did what I did. Love you. Why I raised them the way that I've raised them. I will say though, the epilepsy twist played a lot part in kind of how things have turned out right now that I'm not too happy about. Because I was on point with raising mine the way we were. You know what I mean? Like I was very, very, very much harder on them. I will say I still have some good kids that are on the right track. I have not lost them. You know what I mean?
Said
So
you
what's
was
going on
harder.
in this crazy world right
Harder
now?
ain't even a word. You was a drill sergeant. A drill sergeant.
See, people don't believe me. I didn't play it. I was not playing. But when the seizures early on, when they were happening so frequently, I was just so tired. And I will say, it was so many things. Go ahead. Because I didn't have the energy. And they weren't like big things that they were asking for, but some things I might have been like, no, you don't need it if I was okay. But like I said, I still have some good children that have not fully fallen into the hell that these children are being brought up in right now. Thank God. But to single moms specifically, think about how you were raised, you know, if you were raised in the 70s or 80s in any way, shape, or form, and take it back to what mama and grandmama did. Screw CPS, because our children are out here all crazy. Parents don't want to do anything. You know, I'm going to share this. Someone called CPS on me 2 times. No reason to, because I don't even put my hands on the kids anymore. I wish I never stopped, because they probably wouldn't have all this mouth. They like to try me, but at the end of the day, I win.
Of course you do.
It just is what it is.
Of course.
It's a little harder, but if our moms can just hold it down, it's worth it. Before you are sitting there, oh my God, my son was murdered. It's worth it. If you got to explain yourself to CPS, you just got to explain yourself to CPS. But it's better than burying your child.
So, you know, I talk to a lot of coaches, a lot of men with nonprofits, a lot of women with nonprofits, and you know, I'm definitely constantly networking. So, I heard somebody say, now this is a while back. This was when I was living in Southeast on Morris Road in DC. I heard a young man talking to this old school dude. And so I stopped. He said, "What's up, young fella?" I said, "Man, what y'all talking about old school?" He said, "Listen, man, I may be dead and gone, but, and I may not be able to see it, but this next generation behind this one right here, not your generation, but behind
I
this one,"
know it.
and he was talking about this generation right now. He was like, "You gonna have people walking around in the neighborhood and be like, I can't stand their asses." You know, and I said, "My, that's a strong word coming from the old school." He said, "Listen, man, the way parents are chastising kids now and And you know, he's like, it's some parents out here there to come and get their kids off the block and beat them down on the block. So
Yeah.
so he said, you know, now you have parents and kids is growing up with kids, but that older kid is the parent.
Yeah.
So
And that's another part of it. It's not just this society. I don't regret any of my children.
mm-hmm,
I started at 19.
mm-hmm,
Had I wished I waited just a little bit longer, because I don't want to be too old. I still want to have my life, after they gone and raised
right,
and out my house.
right,
But at the same time, when the ages are younger and younger, you 15, and by the time your daughter's 15 or your son is 15, like, you still learning everything with your child as you raising them. So what are you going to tell them any different? You can't, because you
right.
learning just as well as they learning at the same time.
But
And
but but
then
but,
don't.
but you okay, I just want to say this for those
Mhm.
mothers, those grandmothers that was exceptionally, you know, with the daughter that had a baby at 15 and just
Mhm.
made sure the child that the daughter understood that this is motherhood, this is what you have to do, but that don't
Yeah.
mean that you can't go to college and get your degree. That don't mean
Right.
that you can't become this lawyer or this doctor or this registered nurse that you want to. Like, I salute those grandmothers, man, because you know that's a lot to have to take on your child, then to have to help raise you. Because really, the grandmother play a big part in that grandbaby's life. You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
Absolutely.
So I salute them as well. But what I can say about a lot of children that has a whole bunch of respect, a whole bunch of manners, I feel like nowadays they get outweighed about by the kids that are doing some of everything. So I just feel
Mhm.
like we still have to big them up, you know,
Yeah.
the ones that's doing what they're supposed to do, because they're gonna be our future leaders of tomorrow.
Yep.
So we still got to big them up. So you know, and I just say salute to all of them. And as far as your son, I just want to ask, is he coaching somebody's football team yet?
Not yet. Not yet. My baby boy.
Is he thinking about
And
it?
I don't know exactly what he wants to do, to be honest. We had a little step back with the college,
Mhm.
so he got out there and started making some decent money for his age. So I'm not sure what his whole idea is going to be yet. He saw how, me, I still have student loans that are probably never going to get paid off. His big sister went, started going to school, realized this isn't really what I want to do. What I want to do doesn't require me to have a 4-year degree. So why am I going to sit in here for 4 years and rack up $100,000 in financial aid that I'm going to have to pay back, or it's going to die with me, you know, when I can do and get what I need without it? Just do and get what you need.
Uh-huh.
Don't just stop going and, that's it. Do and get what you need still.
Right.
Which I talk about my oldest all the time. I am so proud of her because I feel like the daughter sometimes, to be honest with you. She's never been a child. She's always been an old person trapped in a little body.
Yeah.
So I knew it was going to be nothing short, once she became grown. But, the more I will say her dad got her really hip with finances and investments and things of that. And I told her, once you go work for this bank, you're not gonna need to. She doesn't need to.
Right.
So he just needs to kind of think about it a little bit more. Right now, he's trying to do the grown-up man thing. He go to work every day, trying to figure out, his first apartment, him and his friend may go ahead and be roommates. He getting ready to buy his first car. So doing those little things right now,
Okay.
then I think he'll focus on a career or whatever it is he wants to
Right.
do.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, sometimes it take us fellas a little bit longer to figure it out, but I'm pretty sure he get it figured out because he grew up with the right toolage. You know what I'm saying? So, and he's
Yeah.
always been a good kid, and he's always been somebody that everybody loves. You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean? So I'm sure he'll figure it out. So,
Yeah. He got it.
um, before we get out of here, so is there any shout outs you want to give out?
Ooh, we'll be here another hour. Um, I hope no one takes any offense, but I do want to, my family as a whole, because if I have to, if I need to, I can make a call and there's help. You know what I
Hmm.
mean? I don't care if it's I can't cook dinner tonight. You know what I mean? It could be that small, or hey, I need you to come get the kids because I don't feel good and I just need a break or whatever. Um, let's see. My bestie, she's always been there for me. Even if it's just because I call her and cry because I'm stressed and I need to bring it down. She will sit on the phone, care how many times I cry about the same thing. She gonna
Hmm.
answer that call and listen to it.
A true friend.
Um,
That's what's up.
yeah. You know my friend Weedy.
Yeah, I do.
That's my girl right there. Um, and my kids. Most important is my kids because they get me up there, but then they come to me and they be like, Mom, you are a good mom. Stop thinking that you're this, or stop thinking that you fell short. We're fine. We have this. We may not have this, but we have this. So where we were just talking about kids of these generations, they'll make you feel like poop because they don't have on the new J's or whatever the case may be. Mm-mm. You know what Maddie went and did? Because she got expensive taste. She went and got her 2 little jobs so she can afford them little bougie clothes she liked to wear.
Uh
Because I
huh.
can't do it. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
So
Yeah.
my kids are number one. I will, over the past 6 years, Curtis checked in.
Hmm.
Um, when I say drill sergeant, you take your meds, you take your meds. Why you take your meds? You got water, you drink water today. That right there was my alarm clock, my timekeeper. But something happened to me, drop everything, where you at, what you need to do, what we get, and I'm good.
That's what's up. That's what's up.
Yeah.
So you're definitely loved. You definitely cared for, and I said most of all, man, shout out to Miss Val, for real, for real. The
Yeah.
real MVP.
You heard me say, man, I still call her sometimes and ask her, like, what happened when, because my mind may get to thinking and I'm just, to be honest, I don't know how I'm still, I mean, I know how I'm still here. It's nobody but God, but to be able to still do all this and type and walk and dance and whatever I want to do, I can still do it, where a lot of people have a seizure and then they're paralyzed, or have
Right.
a seizure and then, just something is wrong. Something is whacked out. Now, I'm not saying nothing is wrong with me, but the things and daily actions that people take for granted, I have all of them. I'm blessed. I don't complain
That's
no
right.
more.
So, folks, live, the raw and uncut version on the Chatterbox with King Jacob, none other than Miss Kelle Elise Johnson.
Thank
Man,
you.
a good friend of mine for over 20 years and counting, and I'm so glad. You guys, do you know how long it took me to get her on here to share this story? So when I asked her today, and she said, "Sure," but you know how you see them there online, and you wait for them, and then they'll finally type it back and be like, she's like, what we gonna talk about? I was like, just I'm gonna keep it professional, and we just gonna talk about your journey. She's like, I don't know. I was like, yeah. I was like, man, we gonna just grow some awareness. She said, okay, I guess, but I can tell you, if it was anybody else, she would have said no.
Yep.
Yeah, She
Yep.
most definitely would say no. Yeah, no, but I think before we get out here, I think that her and her best friend, along with her mother, and put her brother Jeff on her board of directors and a few other more of her family members. I think y'all should start a nonprofit for real, for real.
Okay.
And and that's right up Deacon Jeff alley. I'm pretty sure he'll love that.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, listen.
So
The
just
one thing I do hate about these seizures is it definitely took away my quickness and my sharpness. I will say that sometimes I may ask the same question a couple times. I'm not stupid. I just need a few times to process it and I'm good. So with you throwing that out there, best believe I'm gonna have 50 questions for you on even how that's supposed to go. Cause I have no clue.
if you got 50 questions for me, I got 105 answers. Let's get it.
I know you do. I know you do. I know
Hmm.
you do.
So I want to thank you for coming on again, and the Chatterbox with King Jacob, now broadcasting in 191 countries, powered by Zeno
Okay.
FM and the
Okay.
Village Global Network, with additional online monitoring by Online Radio Box. So, Miss Kelle Elise Johnson, this will be broadcasted in 191 countries, and they will hear your story and your voice.
Wow.
So I want
Okay.
to
Thank you
thank you.
for pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. I appreciate it.
Welcome. You're welcome. And I want to say shout out to my fam, Ty Foster for tapping in from Indianapolis, Indiana. Appreciate you tapping in, my brother. So, people people gonna hear your story. And so I just wanted to grow this awareness because it's something that's needed to be heard so people can truly understand.
Yeah. People think that because I remember once I had it or been diagnosed with it, I remember in elementary school, there was a little boy that would always fall out on the playground. And we were like, what's wrong with him? But the teachers all knew what was going to happen. Later on, I learned he was having seizures. I thought that was the only way. Like you had to be born with it and grow up with it until it happened to me. And I was like, okay, I guess not.
Right. So yeah, we gonna just keep growing this awareness, and whether it need to be me, your best friend, your mom Val, and Jeff on the line, that's fine as well. And I got several plugs. I know a few grant writers that can help, so not a problem.
Okay, we'll talk about it.
All right, have a good night. Be blessed, and always stay
No
encouraged.
problem. Thank you.